Hi, I'm Ken Oakes with Oakes Daylilies. Last year we shot a video about planting a daylily bed, and we talked about the things you might want to think about as you lay out your bed. And then I selected some varieties and we planted it and we went through the whole process. And so we're going to show that video, and then at the end we're going to come back and tell you show you what it looks like a year later. So let's talk about some different kinds of plantings you might consider doing. The first one I'm going to call a collector's bed. And one of the great things about daylilies, you may know, is that they just come in such a wide range of varieties available. There have been literally thousands of daylily varieties introduced. We typically offer more than 200 on our website. So lots of folks just like to buy one of a whole bunch of different kinds and plant them in a bed where they can just look at all of them, in a mix. And that's awesome. That's probably one of the most popular things that people do with daylilies. And it's fun. We have a lot of beds at our display garden, which is where we are, that are planted just like that. And it's kind of fun because you can go out, and we don't normally plan out how we're going to lay those out. We just kind of do it randomly, just because it's kind of interesting to see how it turns out. This one next to this one, how they look together. And I like to mix up the different bloom shapes. You got the long spider types with the long thin petals, and the doubles, the double blooms, and of course your standard round blooms. And when you mix them together, they stand out more so because they're different from each other. So the collector's bed is a really popular one for a lot of folks. And then the mass planting, like you might see in maybe a more commercial landscape, outside a bank or a office building, or perhaps in the medians and highways. I know North Carolina has done a lot of plantings of daylilies. They've got literally tens of thousands down there, medians. If you ever get a chance to go through there in the summer, it's beautiful. And that would typically be, maybe just one or two varieties, but big blocks of the same thing. And that's another good opportunity, for that purpose. And then what I'm going to talk about today is what I'm going to call a designed landscape planting, where you're going to plant in your landscape, and you kind of think about it, maybe to plant some tall things in the back, short in the front, maybe to try and coordinate so you get a longer bloom season with some earlies and lates, and maybe some rebloomers. And you're probably not going to plant maybe just one of each kind. You're probably going to plant a few of each kind, because oftentimes in landscape, I think at least that if you plant three of a kind or more, it just gives more of a pop. It's kind of like a bunch of the same thing, just gives more of a pop of color in the landscape like that. So that's what I'm going to talk about today in this video, is the designed landscape planting. So the bed I'm going to be planting in is at our display garden, and you see it here behind me. One of the nice things about having a nursery is I own a 6-foot tiller, so it took me longer to get the tractor than it did to till this up. But I worked up the soil, which is what you'll want to do before you plant your daylily bed. And talk about where to put your daylilies. Daylilies like full sun. That's going to be their happiest place. But as long as you get half a day of sun, 6 hours or so, they should be fine. But they definitely are a sun plant, not a shade. As far as what kind of soil, they're not really particular. We have pretty good soil here in Tennessee, so typically I just use what we've got. But if you've got really heavy clay or real sandy soil, you might want to mix in some organic material. But they're not real picky. They can do well in a range of soil types. So when I was deciding what varieties I wanted to use for this bed, I thought about 3 different things. I thought about the color, and I thought about the height, and I thought about their bloom season. Now, as far as colors go, there are lots of different combinations that are going to look good. That's up to you, which thing you like. I like the oranges and the bright golds, so that's what I picked for this. I picked some of my favorite oranges and yellows and golds. But like I say, there are all sorts of things that are going to look good. You might like the lavender pinks, or you might like purples and whites. It's reds and yellows. There are lots of good choices. We've actually done some newsletters on possible color combinations, so you might want to check those out. There's a link in the comments below about that. And then as far as the heights go, daylilies range from 12 inches, 15, 18 inches, all the way up to, our tallest one is 5 foot tall or taller. So you got a lot of options in there. There are a lot, of course, in the middle, between 24 and 36 inches, where most of them are going to lie. But I took into that account, picked some tall ones for the back and some short ones for the front. And then the seasons, here in East Tennessee, our earliest bloomers are going to start in mid to late May. And then the ones that are listed as late season for us won't start until the end of June or even early July. So if I mix some of our earliest bloomers and some of our late bloomers, we're going to have some that are kind of in their peak bloom all the way through, definitely the whole month of June and on into the first part of July. And then rebloom is a nice trait, which some daylilies have, and they will bloom and then bloom again. it's got its limitations. You know, you're never going to get as much bloom on the rebloom as you had on the first time, and some colors, there are a lot more rebloomers available in golds and yellows, for instance. But if you can get it, it's a nice trait. So I picked one variety in particular that's a really good rebloomer to try and extend maybe even past summer, maybe get some bloom on into the fall. Now, just a reminder, in your area, you know, if you're further south than us down in Florida, your bloom's probably going to start maybe late April. And then further north of us, your bloom may not start until late June. So it's all relative, you know, what the seasons mean. But all the daylilies that we offer, you can look on the product pages and it shows early, mid, late, etc. And rebloom if it's a rebloomer. So I picked 4 varieties to use in this bed. The first one I picked was a variety called Stella d'Oro, and this is probably undoubtedly the most widely planted daylily that there's been. And the reason it is so widely planted in a lot of commercial landscapes and mass plantings in particular is because it's a really good rebloomer. It's got nice bright gold blooms, relatively small, about 2-inch blooms, and it's about 18 to 24 inches tall. And so that's why I picked it, and it's an extra early season bloomer, so it's going to be one of the earliest ones to bloom. So I picked it for the front of the bed. It's going to bloom early in the season. It's going to be a nice bright gold color, and then it should bloom later on, maybe 2 or 3 times through the later on in the summer and into the fall. So that was the first one I picked, Stella d'Oro. Okay, the second variety I picked was Heavenly Dragonfire, which is a nice big bright orange bloom, one of my favorites, and it's really tall. It's listed at 45 inches tall, so that's one of the taller ones that we grow. So obviously I picked this one to go with the back of the planting, and it's a mid-season bloomer, so probably Stella's gonna be sort of wrapping up by the time this one starts. So this is Heavenly Dragonfire. And the last 2 varieties I picked are Buttered Popcorn and Techni Peace. Buttered Popcorn has got a great color. It's kind of well named, nice bright gold, and it's all-American selection, has lots of blooms. And it's listed as mid to late, so it's going to be mid-season. It's going to definitely overlap with the Heavenly Dragonfire. And like I said, it has a lot of blooms, so it's going to bloom for a long bloom period and can rebloom as well. And then the last one I picked is a variety called Techni Peace, which I just love this color. It's listed as a polychrome, which is a word that I really only find in the daylily world, but it's yellow, it's got some blends of maybe even pink and peach in it. I really like it, and it's a late season bloomer, so this one's probably not going to start, you know, for us until late in June and go on, extend our season for a few more weeks perhaps past when the others are starting to wrap up. Both of these are sort of mid-height. I think this one's 28 and this one's 32, or vice versa. So they're going to be kind of in the middle. So we got the Heavenly Dragonfire in the back, and these 2 I'm going to put on the sides, and the Stella in the front. So let's talk about how to space the daylilies in your new bed. So daylily plants come in different sizes. Oftentimes daylilies with smaller blooms have smaller plants, such as the Stella d'Oro. You can see this is a plant of Stella d'Oro. Well, it's actually 2 right there, but so that's how small that is. That's called a fan. So you can see how small that is, as opposed to Heavenly Dragonfire. You can see this is one plant of that. So this is obviously a lot bigger plant than the Stella is, and so this one is just going to grow up into a smaller stature clump. And so you're probably going to want to plant those with smaller blooms like the Stella, a little closer together. Then you plant the ones with the larger blooms like the Heavenly Dragonfire. So you see I've got them laid out here. I put the Stellas in the front, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, okay? And they're a little closer together than the other ones with larger blooms. I think they're about, that's a little less than 18 inches. And then the ones with the larger blooms are more like 2 feet almost apart. I'll just, remind you of something I said a little bit ago, but I put the Stellas in the front because they're short, right? And these are the tallest ones, the 3 Heavenly Dragonfires. There's the 3 Buttered Popcorns, which are 28, 32 inches tall. And on the other side are the 3 Techni Peace. And so I've planted them so that you get like a block of color from each of the different varieties. So I mentioned also that this is pretty much the size of plant that we sell. Okay, so if you buy from us, this is what you're going to get. It'll have a tag on it. They'll all be tagged with the information so you know what the varieties are, and it'll be washed. These aren't. I just did these for us here. And if you're dividing your own daylilies, you're probably going to want to leave it something about this size. If you divide it down smaller than this, it's probably not going to. It's going to take it a lot longer for it to get established in your landscape. So a nice big chunk like this is a good way to go. All right. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is how to plant your daylily. Okay, and one thing I did want to mention that I forgot to say about the spacing part is when you plant these, they may look a little far apart when you first plant them, but once they grow foliage, and certainly over the next few years, you'll be glad you put them, a little further apart. So okay, back to planting. Basically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a hole, right? And daylilies are relatively shallow rooted, so this doesn't have to be particularly deep. All right, and you can see on this plant here, well, this one's still got dirt on it, so you can tell exactly where the soil was. But you see the white between the green and the roots? This is about soil level, so they're not very deep, right? So I'm going to sit that in there about like that, and that's as deep as it's going to need to be, right? So I'm just going to push this dirt back around it. Whoops. I forgot one thing I was going to do before I did that. As we sell this product, it is the grow tabs, and they are designed to help when you're transplanting daylilies. So I'm going to put one of these in the bottom of each hole. So let me just open that up. See, just a little tab there. So I'm just going to drop that down at the bottom. I'm going to put the plant over top of it. We'll push the dirt around it. All right, you can see it's about that level where it was. All right, now I'm just going to mash the dirt down pretty good around there. All right. There you go. That's pretty much all you got to do as far as planting a daylily. So we've got our daylilies planted, all right? And the next thing I'm going to do is want to add some fertilizer. Okay, so we sell a fertilizer that we had specially made for daylilies. And you don't use a lot of this. This is, you'll just use about 2 tablespoons, about 1 ounce on each daylily. So I'll open this up here. All right, I don't have my tablespoons with me, so I'm just going to show you just a little bit around the plant. All right, just like that. Okay, there you go. So I'm just going to add a little bit like that. This is, concentrated fertilizer, so this is all you're going to need, right? This bag here is enough to do 75 to 100 daylilies, so it'll go a ways. So I'm going to finish putting fertilizer on all of these, okay? And then after that, I'm going to come back and add some mulch over the top, right? I'm going to use wood chips because that's what we have handily available, but they're not picky. Whatever mulch you've got should be fine. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and water them in really well. And when I say water them in well, I'm going to try and give them at least 1 inch of water a week, at least for the first few weeks. That's best for them all through the season for best performance, but certainly the first few weeks after you plant. If you can water them a couple times, a really good soaking, 2 or 3 times a week, that's probably enough. But that's what I'm going to do for these newly planted daylilies. As long as I'm mentioning fertilizer, I would just say the best times to fertilize are when you plant, and then spring is a great time, and then sometimes folks will also fertilize again in the fall. That's optional, but you can do that if you like. All right, so the bed turned out really well. We're shooting this right at the 1st of July, which for us is kind of mid-late. We're kind of past our peak bloom. And so what you're going to see is that the earliest ones that we planted, the Stella d'Oro, which we did in the front, they bloomed really nicely about a month ago or so. And you can see here's the scapes from earlier in the season. See, those were lots of blooms back a month ago. And then you see how it's reblooming right now. See how this has got blooms coming on. There's some little ones coming on for later, and they've all got that. See the little rebloom scapes coming on there? So these are going to keep on blooming, off and on through the fall. And that's, like I had mentioned in the video, kind of Stella d'Oro's claim to fame, nice bright color and then really good rebloom. This one on the side here, the buttered popcorn, excuse me, this is a terrible bloom today for some reason. Yeah, that's awesome. But any case, so it's kind of past its peak bloom. But, it had lots of nice blooms a few weeks ago, right? Still has, 1 decent bloom on there today. And it's still got some blooms still coming. It's a good, like I mentioned, it's a good one because look at the branching on this here. If you can see what that is, that means where the scape comes up and then branches, So when it does that, it's got more buds on it. So more buds is longer bloom. So that was the buttered popcorn. We kind of missed the peak on that. And then this one here in the middle, the Heavenly Dragonfire. This one's kind of just getting rolling. It must be from mid to late. I love that one. Look at that. And this, see, it's just all these still to come and these still to come. So it's just kind of now getting started. And then likewise over here on the end, the Techni Peace. It's, like I mentioned, a later season bloomer. So this is some of the first blooms of the season right here. So it's going to keep blooming for quite a while, it and the heavenly dragonfire as well. So, these will obviously fill out and get bigger, as the years progress. And it'll just get bigger and better, more blooms. This is what daylilies do. They just clump up and, get bigger and more production as the years go on. So I mentioned that these would get bigger and more blooms as they, grow over the years. They'll also get taller. I forgot to mention that. This one is, pretty decent height this year, but it will get taller, more close to its full height, as the season goes on. It's not uncommon for the first year things not to be quite as tall, as they will be when they get full grown. So we've grown daylilies for over 40 years, and we love to talk about all things daylilies. If you have any questions or comments about this video, or really anything daylily, you can put them below, or our contact information is on the website. Hey, if you've got any pictures of daily beds that you've planted, we always love to see what your daylilies look like at your place. So you can, send them to us. Like I said, contact information is on the website. We shot a lot of videos about daylilies. You certainly want to check out these. There's lots on our, YouTube channel. And thanks for watching.